Hey everybody, I have a sad announcement. Well, first let me tell you what you're looking at. You're looking at the Allied side of the Macho versus Heiden campaign. Because I have Macho's files, because he has given up. He quit. After our huge battle at Luganville last turn, he decided that he can no longer continue. That he lost too many bombers and that he can't go any further. And I could not disagree with him more. After he surrendered, I asked for his files because I want to look around, and what I'm seeing, I don't agree with him at all. So, if you watched last turn, we had a big air battle over Luganville, and we shot down a lot of aircraft. So, as you can see, he lost about 73 SPD-3s, some Wildcats, all that stuff. Pilots, obviously, he lost 90 pilots and 32 were wounded. So that's something. If we look at wounded in action, killed in action, not a lot of those losses are that important. But regardless, he's under the opinion that he cannot replace his air losses, right? Because most of his SPD squadrons were gutted, right? They're not completely destroyed, but they're definitely degraded, right? And he said that he has basically none in the pool, so he can't replace them. He's got 23, so that's a bunch. And I was looking around the map, and I see SPD squadrons everywhere. So if we look at dive bombers, all of these can be disbanded temporarily and put into the pool, right? He can use SPD2s. He can use units that are just sitting. Like he's got squadrons that are sitting in Brisbane that could be flown out to the carriers, right? He's got all kinds of dive bomber. Like there's plenty of squadrons left. Like the Saratoga has 3 sitting on it. The Saratoga, by the way, we hit with the torpedo a while back. It's just sitting here in Brisbane, and it's got 3 squadrons of dive bombers that could be put on, and Albacores. He's got aircraft left, but he decided he can't continue because of this battle. I don't agree. We could spend hours going over the map here, and I'll show you some key areas, but I don't think his position is bad. Now, for one, he said this really took the wind out of his sails. He doesn't think that the Noumea situation is going to get better. He knows that China's going to fall. And I guess he's just not too excited about this campaign. Ever since the Battle of Ceylon, he kind of had the wind taken out of his sails. He's had some, allegedly, some personal disagreements with me. He doesn't like some of my attitude, my competitive nature. That's fine, I guess. But if that's the reason he wants to quit because he doesn't like me or doesn't like my attitude, that's on him. But as far as his position on the map, I don't think that this is unsalvageable. I don't think that he can't come back from this before 1943 starts. Like we're gonna get a pretty big points bump from Chungking, but there's so many other ways he can extract losses from me that I feel this is very premature to end it. So basically, here's what I'm seeing. Even right now, after this battle, he has so many surface assets that are untouched, right? These guys are going to retreat. These guys are out of the fight. These guys are out of the fight. These guys are kind of out of the fight, but look at this. He's got this heavy cruiser task force that's just waiting to go in and do some damage, right? That's deadly. He's got another heavy cruiser task force here that could go in. He's got these guys that could go in. He could send them directly at Luganville, at my carriers, and I think I would be hard placed to defend against all of this. He's got way more assets than I do just in this area alone, and he's got more cruisers here and tons more waiting in other places of the map. He has a substantial amount of surface assets right here that I don't have. I don't know if he realizes that or not. If he just bum rushed me next turn, I don't know that I would have been able to defend it. I think he should have tried, because at the end of the day, the Allies can replace these losses way easier than the Japanese can. And remember that for every point that I lose to him, I have to take 4 from him to maintain the 4-to-1 win ratio. So if he sinks a bunch of ships, that's going to put me in a bigger hole than him. I just don't get it. I don't know why he didn't want to try it. If we take a look at Noumea, he's got a lot of forces here, right? 2 divisions here, and a lot of, like, I would not be able to take these guys out easily. Supply is an issue for him here. And then supply here, he's running out of supply on New Caledonia for sure. And that's going to be something that I think we can capitalize on. But he still has a lot of troops on this island. Probably about 700 AV. And I only have 2 divisions worth of troops here. It would be difficult for me to retake this anytime soon. I'd need to bring in more troops. He's got bombers at Suva. Now, we did shoot down a lot of B-17s last turn, but he's got a heavy bomber base that he's setting up here that could continue to punish me at Noumea and Luganville over time. Okay, so he's got a strong position on Fiji to counter-attack me. He's got 1,800 AV of troops sitting in Brisbane that he could get into the fight that he didn't. He's got tons of troops out here. He's got tons of troops sitting here that he could get into the fight. And his position in India is very strong, right? He's got all these bombers here. He's got 250 fighters here that are, I don't know what they're doing. Like long range cap of Calcutta. I don't understand why he's doing that. He's got another 114 some odd fighters here that could do a lot of damage to me. So he's got a lot of aircraft here in India. Troop-wise, he's sitting on a mountain of troops. 700 AV there, 400 there, 200 there, and then the Chinese, 1,900 there, 400 there, 200. He's got almost 4,000 AV of troops right here. Now, granted, their supply situation is not great, but that's still a lot of troops. And then this pocket here, which is what I was concerned about for a long time, 1,900 there, 1,300 there, 600 there. He's got about 3,000 AV of troops right here. If he had just taken all of these troops and pointed them right at Myakina, I'd be in trouble. I don't know that I could hold that back. He's got a lot of troops here. He can just bum rush me and just start pushing into Burma, and I would be stretched thin. And he didn't even try it. He's just retreating. Even with low supply, even with low everything, numbers count, right? I don't have the numbers he's got just in this pocket right here. I really think if he had turned all these guys directly towards me and just started advancing on my lines here, I'd have to stretch out across all of this terrain to stop all of this, and I don't think I could do that. So he didn't even try that, and I don't understand why. These fighters over here doing I don't know what, and they're not horrible. Like, the training is not great, but they're not terrible either. He could turn these guys on me and just start withering me away, right? Magway, I've got like 250 fighters here. He needs to build up a base at Dhaka or something. Get in here. Take these bases, build up an air attack, and start, like, attriting me. That's how you wither away the Japanese AV before 1943. You just attrit them. You cause casualties. You cause losses. Again, every plane that I shoot, that he shoots down of mine, I have to shoot down 4 of his to make up that loss. I don't think I can do that. Now, granted, we had a really good showing today with this, right? But this is not going to be the norm. I'm never going to get this kind of, I'm never going to get these kind of losses on any given day. Like, this is abnormal. Here's Chungking. He's got 3,200 AV left, fort size 2, and supply is a problem. But these units are still intact. And it's going to take me forever still to wither these guys down. So Chungking would hold out for a bit longer. I don't know, guys. Up here in the Aleutians, he's got a strong position. Like, he was working on building up AT2. He's got ADAC, which is a monster base. With, look at that, more dive bombers. We got the Banshees here. Got a lot of fighters here. Look at the Armada. He was definitely going to use this as a jumping off point for an invasion of northern Japan. Like, ADAC is a very strong base. Look at this. Plenty of troops here with more coming in. He could have easily launched an attack into the Kuril Islands from this position, but he didn't. You know, I don't know that I would have been able to defend that. Look at the amount of fuel and supply he's got here, guys. This is insane. This position in Aleutians is very powerful. And all of my stuff is down here, right? So I'd have essentially nothing to counter this, a northern push by him. So I don't want to talk bad of Macho. This campaign was the most fun I've ever had playing this game. It had some great battles, right? We had Ceylon, we had the Philippines, the Dutch East Indies, my invasion of Australia, which, by the way, he's got nothing up here. My invasion of India that got aborted, right, when I moved over to here, and now the Battle of New Caledonia, and this area here is so hot, and there's so much potential here, but it's not going to happen now. I don't want to find a new opponent. I don't want to do pickup games. I don't like that. Like, if my opponent quits, I'm done, because there's just too much. I've given too much information away for my entire campaign. Essentially, anybody who'd want to pick this game up has probably been watching my videos, so they're going to know everything I got. It's just not realistic for me to find another opponent. So I'm going to take my win here, and I'm going to call this one, but this leaves me in a bad position, and it leaves me with a lot of credibility in this campaign. Or in my whole... with my whole War in the Pacific stuff, right? Like, I just gave up the Goodbye campaign to focus on this one and some other stuff I got going on. So that campaign is gone, and now, one day later, this campaign is done. So now I have no War in the Pacific campaigns planned, scheduled, anything. I'm just kind of at a loss here, and I feel like this game ending so abruptly like this has undermined my credibility as a War in the Pacific content creator, because I look like an idiot, right? I had 2 campaigns, now I have none. I gave one up for this, and now this one's done. I have nothing left to play. So I apologize to you guys, all of my viewers that have been sticking with me for all these years watching the War in the Pacific, because that's the bulk of my content, right? The flight sim stuff is just a hobby of mine. This is the bread and butter of my channel. I don't have anything to show you right now, because I have no campaigns. And I think I would look really foolish at this point starting another campaign. I just started one. I gave up. Like, how many times do you guys want to see me replay the first 6 months of Japan? Probably not. Not anymore. I don't really want to play Allies because it's too easy. I feel cheap. I feel guilty playing the Allies because it's so easy to be good as the Allies. And it's so hard to be good as Japan. So I want to be the best I can as Japan, which means I don't want to play the Allies. It's just too easy. So I got nothing. But here's what I do have for you guys, and this is something we can look forward to. In a couple days, I'm going to be doing a live stream. So if you're looking at the calendar here, I think it's tentatively scheduled for the 25th, Tuesday, 25th of March, 2025. I'll be doing a live stream, and Macho has agreed to come on, and we're going to do a debrief about our campaign. We're going to talk, just like me and Helson did when that campaign ended. We're going to basically debrief the entire campaign and go over the major battles that we had, and what our thought process was at each step, and like what led him to do what he did. I think he had opportunities to do damage to me at Ceylon that he didn't take. I think he has opportunities to do damage to me down here that he didn't take. So I kind of want to ask him why. Like, what was your thought process about giving up right now and not just like hammering down day 2? What was your thought process about not engaging your carriers at Ceylon when mine were here, when I was bringing in wave after wave of troop transports to Trincomalee? You could have intercepted those. Like, why didn't you try? And what was the idea behind sending all these transports in here and all these battleships to get sunk. Like, what? Why did you do that? We're going to talk about that. We're going to ask those questions on a live stream. If you can't catch a live stream, you can catch it on as a VOD after the fact. So I hope you guys will join us for that. If not, watch it after the fact, and we can ask Macho some questions about some of the decisions that he's made, and he can do the same for me. But the other thing I'm going to do with this campaign, since it's gone, is I'm going to do a little bit of wargaming here, some what if scenarios. Since I have his password and I have his thing, what I'm going to do is I had two ideas about how he could have hurt me in this turn, right? So what I'm going to probably game plan, and I'll record the turn and show you what if scenarios. If he had taken all of his surface combat assets and just sent them at Luganville, like bombardment task forces, to try to take out the air power that I have at Luganville, could he do it? Or option two, what if he took every one of these surface combat task forces and attempted to intercept me here? Could I have held him back? Could I have defended against all of these surface ships trying to get at GIGABYTE? Would this have worked for me? So I'm probably going to game plan those out over the next few days, do those what if scenarios, and show you what could have happened or what he could have done. And if it's determined that nothing he could have done would have helped and I would have just wiped the table with him, then it is what it is. But what if he could have tore me up? Maybe he gave up too soon. We'll find out. I don't want anybody to think ill of Macho. At the end of the day, what I think about playing games is that if you're not having fun, don't do it. If you hate playing, if you're dreading it, if you're not enjoying it, then don't play. And what he told me essentially is that he was not enjoying it. He wasn't having fun anymore. He had some personal issues with me, which is fine. He's allowed to have those. I mean, difference of opinions, attitudes, those are what they are. That's valid. But if he wasn't having fun, then he made the right call. Don't play anymore. Games are supposed to be fun. If he's not having fun, then quit. I just think it was a little premature. I think he could have found a way to have fun with everything he's got out here. That's all you got. That's all I got. If you have any questions, post them in the post a comment on the video, or come over to my Discord. You can ask me. Both of our channels are opened up. We can see each other's stuff again. I'm sorry that I'm leaving you guys with no campaign right now. I'll try to find a new opponent, but I need to make sure it's worthwhile for you guys and for me. And yeah, catch you on the next one.